YouTube and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be drawing a picture of the lion from Wizard of Oz. You may have seen my last video, which was my entry to drawing with Jazza's monthly competition where I did Alice in Wonderland. And the theme of that was a level cap, so level 99. And as you can imagine, you don't necessarily always just have one idea for these competitions. You can only enter one piece of art, and I entered my Alice piece, but this was my alternative. Yeah, just my other idea for what I could have done. So I did the lion out of Wizard of Oz at level 99 because he is full of courage now. So you can see that I am just sort of doing the sketch, trying to get the proportions right, the pose. I tried to do some foreshortening on his front foot, and in the end his front paw as well. I think I did okay, but it's something that I haven't done before, so it's I definitely need to work on that a little bit. So I'm now drawing Dorothy. I did her hair a fair few different ways, and you'll see in the end it's nothing like this, but I kind of think the pigtails could have been cute, especially with the lion's hair. I'm just trying to get the pose correct, try and get that creepy hand, which I'll fix a bit later on, getting her feet right, and because I am not overly experienced with layering, I thought, okay, well, her foot is going to be behind the lion's foot, and half of her is on top of the lion, so I just won't draw her other foot, which ended up working fine in the end, but it looks a bit funny all the way through that she's like missing this foot. So now I'm going in and doing the details on the lion. Out of this whole piece, I loved doing his face and his hair. And I think that really shows as well, because it's the most detailed and most well done part of the entire piece, in my opinion. But yeah, I had so much fun doing it. He just looks so happy, and I was trying to make him look like tough and mean and, you know, like what a level 99 lion would look like, but I just couldn't. He's such a fun, loving character, and you can't, yeah, I don't know. I didn't want to make him too rough and mean, and to take away from the look of him, especially his fluffy cheeks. Look at them, oh, those cheeks. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with the hair. I've gone over like the original sketch, which you can see in orange, so I've gone over now in a black sketch, but I then go and refine that further, which I think was a fantastic idea, because it just did that further like detail added to it. I did have a little bit of trouble with the layering, because as I said, I'm still learning layers, but I know them a hell of a lot better than I used to, so that's really, really good. You can see again, layering issues. I've gone over the little whisker dots again. But yeah, one of the main things I'm working on at the moment for myself is hair. Why, you ask? Your hair in this picture is really good. Well, as much as it's good on the lion, if you then look at Dorothy's hair, I just couldn't get it to work the way I wanted it to. So I feel like the lion was a bit of a fluke, which I'm not upset about at all. I'm pretty happy with it, actually. But yeah, it could have just been that my concentration was gone a little bit. This picture did take me 5.5 hours to do. Not all at once, of course. I did have breaks in between, and like days where I'd leave it and then come back to it. But I guess this was one of the first things I've done, so of course like my concentration and my inspiration would have been a lot higher maybe than at the end, when I was like, okay, I've spent 5.5 hours on this, I really just want to get it done. And sometimes maybe you think, well, if you're at that point, maybe you shouldn't be drawing it, or try not to spend that much time on it. But it's not necessarily like, I wasn't sitting there going, oh my god, can this just finish? It was just like, oh, I know where I want it to be and I can't get it there due to lack of knowledge or lack of skill. So that's a little bit different. Like if you're just wanting something to finish, maybe you should just put it away and go back to it. Which, you know, I do as well. Like I'll put it aside, which I never used to do. I used to just pump it out and finish it as quickly as I could, especially with traditional pieces. But I've learnt recently, actually, that sometimes you just need to step away, and it's okay to do that. back to the piece. I have drawn the hand in because I was going to like put him with his hand up, like saying, no, you can't have her, she's mine. But you'll see a little further on I had a better idea. And I'm starting to do more detailed line work on Dorothy. Overall, like, she turned out fine, but I wasn't extremely happy with her. Again, she's not the focal piece of this picture, so it doesn't matter too much, I guess. And like, she did turn out well. I just need to really practice 1, hands, 2, poses and proportions, and 3, faces when they're not straight on. You'll notice in a lot of pictures that I do, the face is always straight on, because that's the way that I've always learned to draw faces. And I haven't had a lot of practice, mainly because I get scared and I don't want to fail. But I've been really trying to challenge myself lately to draw faces at a bit of an angle, or from like a profile sort of view, so that it's like completely different. But it is hard and I am struggling with it, so I'm trying to push through that, and practice will make me a lot better. So I will just keep going, keep trying, keep practicing. So now I'm starting to add the color in, and you probably heard me say it a couple of times before. I love putting color in the background. I don't like using just white or black or whatever. Like, for example, in this one I've done yellow, because it shows all of the areas that you're missing. So if you've colored in like the lion and I've missed a bit of his hair, you can see yellow through it, and it's extremely different from that brown. For Alice, I know that I sketched with a yellow background, but then changed the color from yellow because her hair is yellow, so I had to have that difference. So now I'm starting to sketch out the background, and you can see the castle in the background, or the town, city in the background, clouds, lovely hills, and all sorts of things, and of course the yellow brick road. The background took me a very long time, and you can see I'm starting to play with gradients, which I was very happy with. I was like, oh look, I found the gradient tool. So impressive. But I feel like I could have put a lot more detail into a background. I don't think that you could ever have too much detail in a background. It just, you've kind of got to match it up with the drawing that you're doing in the foreground, because if the drawing that you've done is extremely simple, you don't want an over detailed background. If that's what you're going for, then that's great. But yeah, you kind of want them to match. So as much as my lion is extremely detailed, I feel like the background was detailed enough for the lion. I could have definitely put more detail in, more time, but I think the backgrounds can go on forever. And at the moment, I've just started doing backgrounds, so I don't want to push myself and put like hours and hours and hours and hours, even though, into this background, when I'm going to get sick of it, and then I'm not going to want to do a background in my next piece, which is the last thing I want to do. I definitely had a lot of layer problems with those what are they called, cliffs on the right hand side. They're a nightmare, but that's okay, that's fine. You learn from your mistakes. I'll make sure my layering is correct next time. So again, like the Alice piece, I've done this in 2 parts. I didn't want to cut out any of the footage for you, because now you can see like every step that I took to get to the end product. So yeah, as I said, it took me 5.5 hours. So that's, you know, if I make it faster, which I do, it would have been like a 25-minute video, and I like to keep them short so that you can enjoy it a bit more and don't have to sit there for anything like that. So yeah, this is part 1, and part 2 will be out tomorrow, hopefully. And you'll get to see I go back to the lion and back to Dorothy, and I add a whole heap more detail and finish the piece off. So, and I also change the pose of the hand, so you'll get to see the final pose and what he's thinking. Ooh, ah. Anyway, if you have any questions on how I did any of this, please feel free to ask me. If you have a better way that I could do it, please let me know, because I'm always interested in quicker, easier ways to do digital art, because I'm very new to it and still learning, so every tip and trick is very helpful. And if you hate it, tell me why. I'd love to know everybody's opinion. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!